Hi, my name is Ethan Moreno. I am a second-year graduate student in the Student Affairs and College Counseling program here at Fresno State. So the program I've chosen to do my research presentation on is SupportNet. For those of you unfamiliar with SupportNet, it is a early alert program here at Fresno State located in the lower level of the library. So SupportNet, like I just said, is an early alert program, and its main mission and intent is to catch students before they're failing their courses. And so at SupportNet, students are able to meet with an academic coach who can go over their strengths and weaknesses with them as a student, and can refer them to the appropriate services and resources that they need, and overall just be someone that students can vent to and can kind of just talk about things with that they may not have an opportunity to elsewhere. So for the evaluation question, I'm looking at how effective is SupportNet for students, and my second question is what student populations are being referred to at SupportNet. So to measure this tool of how effective SupportNet is for students, I think the biggest thing is to evaluate the counselor performance, because there are a lot of times where we hear students who say, yes, I know where these services are, I've met with my advisor, but how do we know that students' needs are being met? And so I think one way to do this is to make sure our counselors are held accountable. And so one of my performance measurements is going to be end of the session survey. So once a student is done meeting with an academic coach or counselor, I'm going to be addressing an end of a session survey based on a few questions asking how would you rate your session today with your counselor using the Likert scale. And then I would ask also open-ended questions as far as was the counselor someone who was taking the appropriate time and valuable time with you, or where you feeling kind of rushed. This will just kind of give me a better understanding of the counselor performance, but also as well as how the student was feeling. And so I think this is very important because at Fresno State, there are a lot of programs who are simply just too large. And that, I know for engineering for a fact, there's a student counselor ratio for, 1 to 500 students. And so it is easy for students to get overlooked and for students to fall through the cracks. And students are smart and they know that sometimes they feel like they're being rushed out, or sometimes they're not feeling like they're being listened to. So once again, my biggest goal for this is to make sure that the students' needs are being met, and my other goal is to make sure the counselors are being held accountable for their actions. So moving on to my second evaluation question, and that is what student populations are being referred to by SupportNet. I think this is very important because we can take this to a whole nother level. So if you're not familiar with GI 2025, it is called the Graduate Initiative, and it's handed down by the Chancellor's Office down in Long Beach. And the main intent is for CSUs to increase their graduation and retention rates. And so by referring students to SupportNet using our software called Grades First, we're able to see what students are being referred, by which professors, by which majors, and as far as their backgrounds as well. And I want to keep documentation of this and evaluate this because I feel like it can help us see a larger picture. For instance, say we're getting an influx of Latino male students. Okay, so this can go to administration and say, look, at our males at Fresno State aren't doing so well. What do we need to do to ensure that these students aren't slipping through the cracks and can find success here at Fresno State? And so, ironically enough, that is already a problem, and the university has already, addressed some ways that we need to increase the male Latinos and students of color, males of color, and help them feel more assimilated into the campus, but as well as making sure they're receiving appropriate services. So, and moreover too, I want to look at what majors are we seeing students come in from. I can say, a lot of times you will have the science and mathematics majors come in because those are difficult majors. And so this can help the administration and SupportNet, and as well as the Learning Center, which is the big program under SupportNet, focus on focus more heavily on, students of science and mathematics, and we can even take to the extent of offering more tutoring courses for the chemistry, the bios, and the calculus classes. And so I think by these two questions and my two evaluation methods through surveys, through documentation, through Grades First, I really believe that it can paint a bigger picture of the issues students are facing here at campus. And it keeps people accountable too. It keeps, first of all, it keeps counselors accountable, and it also keeps administration accountable. If we collect the evidence and the data and we bring it forward to administration, we can ensure that effective outcomes are to be set, and change can be implemented at Fresno State. So some of the limitations I do have with this, and I'll go ahead and say it shortly, but it's the internal validity concerns, such as, well, if students are not having a bad day, or if students are having a bad day, if students issues go beyond academics and it's more social emotional, it is really hard to pinpoint what it exactly is causing the student not to do well in the course. And other things too. I mean, working at the university can be tiresome, and there are certain points of the semester where students and faculty are feeling higher stress levels at different times, like specifically more towards finals and midterms. So those are some things to keep in mind, but my main goal is to help keep counselors and students accountable and help to implement change at the university level. So I know I went a little bit above time, but very passionate about this, and I look forward to writing about this in my research presentation. And I look forward to hearing from the rest of you guys. Thank you. Take care.